I visited soon after I arrived at Texas A&M, and I was appalled. It was in terrible shape. We're talking about the Rellis campus, which was the Riverside campus before we had the plans to move from Rellis. And it was in terrible shape, just terrible. The roads were undrivable, the septic system, the sewage system, non-existent. The buildings were falling down, and they were old, and some of them actually were I think some of them, if I'm remembering correctly, some of them actually had been invaded by snakes and still had staff members working in those facilities. And so when I visited here, I talked to the directors of TEEX and TTI and asked them, how do you work out here? And they mentioned that it was getting to the point that they would not be able to in the future. And we also had TEAS operations out here with the Food Process Center and the Electric Systems Labs. And again, they said the same thing. If we didn't do something for this campus, we would have to abandon it, and perhaps it would go back to Graceland. So we were at a tipping point. We had to decide, do we abandon the land, do we abandon the 2,000 acres here, or is there a vision to move forward in a way that would benefit the engineering agencies and the entire system?
Was there an inspiration or a catalyst for that vision?
Chancellor Sharp. The vision all starts with Chancellor Sharp. So he and I talked about it, and actually I was asking him, could you invest a small bit of money, at least to repair the roads and replace the sewage system and perhaps renovate some of the buildings? And he stepped back, as he always does, and looked at it from a different way and said, what could we do if we invested there? And you see the beginning of that. So we talked about the fact that we don't have a testing and evaluation type campus at Texas A&M system. And it isn't the laboratory type research we want to conduct here, is the large scale testing. You can create a design in a laboratory or even in a computer lab, but you can't build large scale design, and you certainly can't test it in a laboratory, certainly on campus, because you're surrounded by students and faculty, and there's a risk factor. But this campus, 2,000 acres, is now available for testing of all different types of design and technology. Drones, large-scale testing and structures, of pipelines, many, many different examples of types of technology that will be tested here.
So will this enable TEAS to maybe do more of what it used to do out here?
It would be different, but in a similar vein. So again, years and years ago, we tested buildings, certainly roads. We do crash tests now, but it tends to be more physical in terms of its approach, the type of testing we've done before. More physical, large-scale testing, but very physical systems and pretty applied. Now what we're talking about is integrating the innovation that we find in the laboratory with application. And it's a bit different because we're talking about bringing inventions from nanotechnology labs to test them out here. In terms of autonomous vehicles, we'll design the type of wireless information gathering with the actual vehicle here. So it's different. I hate to say it's not really the same, because we're taking the TRL level, the technical readiness level, down on this facility. Now, may I explain what that is? So a technical readiness level indicates how far an invention is from application. So before, on this campus, we focused on very high TRL levels. Now what we're trying to do is bring that down closer to what we're doing in the laboratory and test it, and also change the design before we move to application. So this is an ecosystem loop. So instead of having a laboratory invention, building an apparatus and applying it, and then you have to take it from all the way from a TRL level of 7 back to 1. It takes time, effort, certainly faculty members' focus. You can test throughout the TRL level process, and it's more efficient and effective, and you have a better product.
Are there other university-associated venues that maybe serve as somewhat of a model for what Rellis would be?
There are different types of research parks, and there are testing and evaluation facilities, but they're not this large. We have 2,000 acres, and we have a large investment by the system. We have a vision from the chancellor about what this could be, and we're located in Texas, one of the fastest growing states in the nation. We're very close, driving distance from Houston, Austin, San Antonio, Dallas. So we're located in a perfect location to be a testing and evaluation hub. And this is the right time because we have Chancellor Sharp at the helm, and it's the right place to think about integrating this TRL level of 731 together in a location that will help us design new products more effectively and efficiently.
Will, in the future, this venue attract private enterprise, you think, to join with academic research?
It already has, and we expect more in the future. So we have designed this campus to have different sectors. So this sector is considered large-scale testing and more university-type research. We have a sector that is linked with more secure research, so we'll have a secure section toward the west. Toward the south, we have a training section and a sector that is focused on training individuals that may not be seeking a degree. And so with all the sectors together in one location, but maybe not overlapping, it allows each sector to meet the mission, but also work with the entire campus.